Hey guys, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, I'm going to try to use a drone as a tool. So I've got this here. This is what's called a FIMI X8 SE, and I just got this to use as a tool on the farm here. And it's a blast to fly around. I've given it a couple test flights, and for this flight, I want to see if I can map the path for the water line through my property from the road all the way back here, get the amount of feet approximately that it's going to be from the road to here, and get some nice footage of this flying over there. I also want to see between the precision landing versus the non-precision landing. I haven't been able to get the precision landing to work on here, so I'm going to try it with and without. As long as I can get my dogs to leave the thing alone and bring it down on the ground. So far I've had to take it off from a table here. My dogs just go nuts trying to eat this thing. So we'll see how it goes here. And yeah, welcome to Man Time. So here we go. Here's the drone. And I've been looking at some other YouTube videos on this drone, and no one's really mentioned how to put these propellers on there correctly. They've got a gray little bar on them, and those correspond with a gray little bar on the arm here. But if you try to put them on the wrong motor, they don't go on there. So they are truly a mistake-proof or error-proof type of prop, which is really nice for beginners like me that you know, have just kind of found the glory of drones. So to get these on there, you just squish them down. There's like on the top of the motor here, the rotating portion of it, there's a wide and a narrow opening, and these just slide right down in there and then twist and then pop up, are spring-loaded to lock in place. So, I mean, it's just that simple. They're locked in there. And again, you've got the gray bar corresponding with the gray bar. Those go on opposite sides here. And then there's the controller. First thing you do is you pop out your little handles here. Screw those down into place. Okay. And then I found the easiest way to hook up your phone into this is just to plug the phone in to your adapter cable first. Get that down in here. Get the cable tucked back, and then you're good to go like that. All right, so we'll power on the drone. Push, hold. There we go. And same on the controller, push, hold. Neat thing about this controller, it actually charges your phone as you're using it here. So that's pretty neat. All right, get our antennas up here, and then we'll open it up and connect to the app. Yeah, this one you don't need Wi-Fi or anything. This is a dumb phone here. It's not connected. It's an old iPhone 6, so it's no Wi-Fi, nothing connected, and I'm still connected to the drone. So the drone uses its Wi-Fi signal and the controller's Wi-Fi signal to communicate. So you can just use a non-connected type of iPad. I'm out here in the country at the new home site here, and it's looking for a GPS signal. Right now it's in VPU. No GPS signal. Got 11 satellites now. Alright, now we've got 14 satellites, so I think we should be good to go. There's 15. Battery's already dropped down to 92% without even using it. But let's see if we can get this to start up here. You push these two in, and we'll just take it up. Dogs love these things. Alright, let's take it for a flight here and try to make the course here. Alright guys, that was the FIMI Navi, FIMI Navi is the app for this thing. That was the FIMI X8 SE, going to 2,100 feet. 2,100 feet out, it was just over 100 feet up, and didn't lose video signal throughout that whole flight. I think I'm going to try to take it up again here in sport mode. As far as the landing, the precision landing on the ground, it's not going to work out with the dogs. They're just not really used to this. Not really used to this drone yet. So we'll take it back up though. We'll fly it all the way back down there again in sport mode and just see how quickly it can get 2,000 feet and back. Alright guys, you just saw the FIMI X8 SE used as a tool there. I was able to fly it down and out to the road, and the second time there when it was in sport mode, I had it a little bit higher. I was kind of scared there when it got all the way to the road. It started to get a little bit laggy, but it was 2,500 feet, or just under 2,500 feet. So it's going to be about a half mile, and the point of using this there for a tool was to, now that I know the distance from the road to the home site here, I know about approximately how much PVC pipe I'm going to need to get for the water line. I can also figure out how long it's going to take me to trench from the road all the way back here, given that it's roughly a half a mile. And I can look at the specs on the different trenchers that they have available to rent and see the trench depth and then the speed that it travels while it's trenching, to figure out if it's going to be cost effective to rent or buy, or whatever the case may be there. They've got a 3-point tractor attachment trencher that's available on the market. There's also used trenchers available in this area. So if I can find out the speed that the trencher will travel when it's digging that trench, times a half mile, times the cost, then I can have a better idea of how much it's going to cost to rent, and figure out whether it's going to be cost effective to rent or buy or not. Couldn't test the landing capabilities with the precision landing versus the non-precision. The dogs here are just a little too excited about the drone. But there you go. That was the episode for today. The drones can be used as tools, as well as as a heck of a lot of fun. So, thanks for joining me today on Man Time, guys. Get out there, have you some man time too.